Hey Phil, I kind of wanted to elaborate on this concept I've been talking about recently about chord tones and staying in the same box. This is not anything I'm going to post on GMC unless I get your permission, but essentially the backing track for the collaboration is in B minor, as you know, and then it goes like an A major chord and a G major chord and a D major chord, if I remember correctly, and is it B minor and F sharp minor and G major. But all those chords I just mentioned are just chords from the B minor scale, and I'm sure you've seen the B minor scale before, or just this one simple box, B minor scale, and it kind of fits inside the B minor pentatonic, this one And if you add in the missing notes of the B minor scale, that note and the G, but basing it around that pentatonic box, which I know you know, and I know your ear is can relate to, because you mentioned in the fret that you were accidentally playing the A minor pentatonic over the B minor chord, and you noticed it sounded wrong, so I think your ears are working fine. But what I wanted to point out again is that in that B minor pentatonic box, and in that B minor scale, all those chords I mentioned can be found just in those 7 notes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the octave. And essentially, those 7 notes, from those 7 notes, you can build the triads I mentioned. You can build the B minor triad. That would be the B minor triad. Those notes make up this chord, and the A major triad. It's essentially here, and those notes make up this chord. And the G major triad. What's the next one? You can find those notes like those notes, same position. Just staying around here, and those notes make up the G major chord. And the same with the D major and so on. And if you go to that pentatonic box, you'll notice that somewhere in there's actually an A note. Hint, it's this one. And I know you played the B note on the B minor chord. And then, the A major chord happened, and it would be kind of cool to hit that A note instead of the B note, And I think you can absolutely do this because you were already noticing that when you played the A minor pentatonic over the B major chord, it sounded wrong to your ears. So I think your ears are working just fine. But staying in that B minor pentatonic, now, up comes the A chord after the B minor chord, and there are 2 notes from that B minor pentatonic box, 2 notes that belong in A major, and just gonna make it relatively easy. Those notes are A and they're E, and it's right there. And playing those notes on the A chord will always sound great. And playing the note from the B minor chord on the B minor will also always sound great. And I think since you were able to hear that the A minor pentatonic didn't sound good on the B minor chord, I think you can definitely get this. Now, just to quick background information, you know, the pentatonic box. Pentagon, pentatonic. It's 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like a 5-tone scale. And then you get to the octave. And those notes essentially make up some of the 5 notes out of the 7 notes of the B minor scale, missing out on 2 notes. But the pentatonic has 5 notes, and some of those notes match the chord changes. Essentially, if you're on B minor, you know, that could be the B note, the root of the chord. The B minor chord, the root would be B, and we get to the A major chord, the root would be A, but you're still staying in that box. You know, so we're making some, if I remember correctly, you played something like this, you know. That's fine, you're ending on that B note. Sounded great on the B minor chord. It would sound great, you know. But now on the A major chord, you know, still staying in that box. Still the same position, still the same 5 notes, but focusing on landing on the A note. Because we're on the A chord. So I think that was kind of my point. When the A major chord comes up, you're still staying in the same box, but you're just focusing on ending your phrases on that A note, and that A note is in 2 places in the box anyway. It's both here and here, and you know, same can be done for the G major chord. You could find the notes that are in G major from that box. So, you know, we could play on the B minor chord, ending on that B note because it's in the B minor chord, and when the A major chord comes up, now that's the A note. When the G major comes up, find a note to end the phrase on from the G major chord. That's from the G major chord. And, you know, the same for the D, for instance. I'm still just using the same box and the same lick. Now, that's the same note as before, but that's the D note. So, yeah, I think I might have caused more confusion. I don't know. There's no key changes. There's no scale changes. It's all staying within that pentatonic box that I know you know well. But it's just staying in that box, but focusing on the chord that's coming up. So, you know, it might be like, is it 4 bars or 8 bars of B minor? So we focus on ending your phrases there, or there, or there. When the A major comes up, you're focusing on ending your phrases on A or E. Now the G comes up, focusing on phrasing, ending your phrases on G notes, G chord tones. And so on. So yeah,